Along with all the other Saturn signs, Capricorn has been on a tremendous journey for the past few months. Much of your time was likely spent getting back on your feet after what 2021 had in store for you. Now that we've got to halfway through the year, a lot of the hard work is somewhat out of the way, but you won't really get to calm waters until mid-August. So that bears the question, what else does Capricorn have to do to wrap up this long odyssey? Well, despite July being the last month of this chapter, this book will definitely end on a big explosive moment that really happens in August, but since it is the very first day of that month, much of the build-up will take place here. The good news is that out of all of the Saturn-ruled signs like yourself, you actually have an easier job than the rest. The reason is that the main transit causing all that ruckus is Mars's ingress into your 5th house. This is the place we find all of the joyous things in life. The house was traditionally even associated with children since they're the ones who have a particular uncorrupted lust for life that some adults lack. Mars going through that house can push you to pursue these activities with all your might, which could include sensual escapades, creative endeavors, etc. With that said, Mars is in his exile when he transits through Capricorn's 5th house, meaning that many of the natural ways you find joy in life contradict the way Mars goes about achieving them. In other words, Capricorns like to relax and do nothing but luxuriate to relax, but Mars just wants to get busy and achieve. This can incite a certain level of voracity within you that you wish to keep tamed throughout the month. It's important to remember that you need a bit of a soft touch when dealing with precious and luxurious things. It's time to exercise a certain level of restraint. If you don't, you might regret it. This transit is also further emphasized during the full moon this month, which will be trine to this Mars transit, meaning that it will be accessible between the energies of the full moon and Mars. The full moon happens as early as the 13th of July, and it's actually happening in your very own sign. When we have a full moons in your sign, and for Capricorn, this is especially true if you are 18, 30, 42, 54 or 66, the main focus of the lunation is on how we relate, care and receive nourishment from important people in your life. This lunation, in particular, has a relatively strong influence from Mercury as well, which could trigger these sorts of topics to manifest as literal conversations between your partner, if you have one, co-creators and even your adversaries. You'll be reminded that closed mouths don't get fed through this lunation. Your sign is famous for processing things alone, but the more you keep things to yourself this month, the tenser you'll feel. And to go back to the Mars factor, this could push you to look for instantly gratifying methods to soothe your pains, but that, as we've already covered, can easily backfire. On the other hand, the new moon has a bit of a different energy to it. Mars goes from a trine to a square to the lunation, which can be rather bothersome in some areas of your life. This lunation happens on the 28th of July, and due to the closeness to the extensive transit of the 1st of August, in many ways, this will be your introduction to how this slow chapter of your life is about to end. The primary areas of your life this transit can affect are your finances and alliances. Especially if you are in a relationship, this can cause instability within the home's cash flow. You will have Venus providing some help in your 7th house of marriage, representing that despite difficulties, there's still the willingness to come together to solve the problem, but this by no means says it will be an easy task. Mercury, who was somewhat helpful during the full moon, continues to lend you a hand through what can be some unstable times, so be sure to establish an open line of communication between you and your partner. Even if you aren't in a relationship, this can still manifest as financial dealings with others such as the government, close friends and business partners. Don't think too much about it if the last transit's got you to worry a bit. Like I said earlier, this is actually the very final stretch before this challenging chapter in your life is officially over. This has been almost a 2.5-year-long adventure, and somehow you're still here. So choose to focus on the obstacles you've overcome so far and how far you've gotten. You're almost at the finish line. Good luck, Capricorn.